Hello, I'm Muskan Kandilwal and you are watching Indian Masterminds. And I am with a very special guest. He is retired IFS officer Deepak Sarma. So thank you so much, sir, for giving us time for the interview.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Thanks a lot.
So first of all, I would like to know about your journey. Why you came into this service? How has been your journey?
Actually, I was interested in tree planting. I had a culture of tree planting inculcated to me from my grandfather and father. So I had liked trees, but there was no specific thing about joining forest service. But when I had completed my master's in physics in Delhi University, this IFS exam had become quite popular. So I had appeared in that, and it was a science subject-based paper. So it was convenient to me. Luckily, I appeared and I got it for the first time. And after joining, I enjoyed it so much that I never looked back. I wanted to be in the same service, and I continue to be a forester even now, although I retired 11 years back.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's really nice, sir. So what was the most challenging aspect of battling forest smugglers in the Western Ghats, and how did it influence your conservation approach?
Yes. In fact, those days I was working as an AC, Assistant Conservator of Forest in the Shimoga division, and there used to be a lot of smuggling of teak wood from the jungle. And till that time, although the forest department was fighting the case, it had not gone to the level it should have gone. So I took the initiative, took the help of my all staff. Of course, we had a lot of trouble times also. We had fight with the smugglers, assault case and all. But ultimately, we were able to bring it down. And that was one incident that was in Karnataka, which brought the notice of the government to the requirement of, having improved infrastructure and facilities for the staff. For example, we got 2-3 vehicles within that incident. Then they started getting other equipments like guns and all. So it emboldened the department in taking forest protection works in a much comprehensive way. So that because I was injured, I was myself injured in the accident, and I had just gone to the state just 2 years back. So it was an eye-opener that anything, if it can happen to him, it can happen to anybody. So the government was also very concerned, and ultimately lot of things happened from the protection point of view in the state.
Okay, sir. So how did you balance industrial demands with environmental protection during the Bellary mining case?
Bellary mining case happened much later because it happened in 1910. I was actually at the time serving as in the working plan wing and also in the vigilance wing. So in that context, I was asked by the government, state government, to look into the matters and also assist the Central Import Committee in various matters. So since 2010, I was involved in surveying of the area along with other colleagues. So that was, it continued from that. And in the meantime, Supreme Court decided that once the mining is stopped, and mining has to be resumed, because although mining was stopped by the Supreme Court, it was realized that mining has to again begin because industries cannot run without mines. So the Supreme Court wanted a monitoring committee to look into and to sort of streamline the movement of material. So since 2011, we started doing the auction of all the iron ore. That was around 25 to 30 million ton every year. We kept on doing it. So the streamlining of the mining was something very helpful. It could bring everything under control. We were also given the additional responsibility of monitoring the mines. So that was another thing. Now, as far as selling is concerned, the auction thing has now been withdrawn because Supreme Court is also of the opinion that things have come to a very good level. So the mining, auctioning of the material has been given to the mines themselves. But as far as supervision of the works concerned, it still remains to the monitoring committee. We have been doing it even now.
Okay, sir. So what were the biggest challenges you faced as the chair of the Supreme Court appointment monitoring committee for iron ore mining in Karnataka?
It was the quantum of work. The challenge was basically quantum because it was very heavy. So we managed it because we had Dr. U.V. Singh, my colleague. He's also from the forest department. We were together, and the DMG, he gives the infrastructure support. Then we had the support of the mines department and the forest department. Ours was a monitoring committee. We were basically doing the monitoring of the activities, and we were also taking the help of one cell called e-auction cell. We have taken people from the bank who had helped us in keeping the accounts, because the transactions are very heavy, and running into thousands of crores. So it was a hectic job, responsible job, but it was enjoyable also. And we have done it for 12 years. But then it was thought that it need not continue, so that has been discontinued. We are no longer involved in auctioning, but we are doing the supervision of the mines even now.
Okay, sir. So, what are the major challenges facing forest conservation in India today, and how can they be addressed?
Actually, forest conservation, we have a problem of increasing demand and reducing forest. Forest is shrinking, although the forest cover has increased, as we have been seeing from the Indian ISF forest report. Actually, what is happening? Luckily, good thing is happening that a lot of tree growth has taken place in areas outside the forest.
Yes.
That is like agricultural land. Even horticulture crop has increased. So that has contributed to the forest cover. The real increase in the forest area has not taken much. But then the moment you have more forest outside the forest, it is very likely that the forest inside the forest will get the relief and they will improve. So we have been trying for agroforestry mainly because it reduces the pressure on the forest. We have not yet come to a stage where the forest is absolutely free from biotic pressure. With the production of agriculture, forestry producing the agricultural land, forest is getting a relief. So I think the next 10-15 years, there will be improvement in the forest also. Because you have to understand the forest cover means actually anything including a coconut tree or a mango tree. So that is also contributing now. And it is increasing. Our forest is not increasing much, but the very fact that it has remained constant itself is a big thing, because the challenges on land pressure on land is very high. Gradually that will come down. And there are indications that that pressure is coming down. What I saw in the forest in 1980 no longer is there. Not many people go to the forest to get the firewood. So things are happening, but then we need to do more in growing trees in agricultural land. That is because in India we have more agricultural land than required. We have about 60% of land under agriculture, and a lot of that agricultural land is marginal land, not fit for agriculture. It will be better if that land is used for, I do not say only forestry, it should be put under a tree crop. It can be a mango tree, it can be a coconut tree, it can be some other tree crop, because tree crop will keep the land in a much better position, because that is not real agricultural land. It was all marginal land. So agroforestry basically aims at improving the marginal agricultural land, and that agroforestry also helps the agriculturists.
Right. So what motivated you to document your knowledge about Karnataka's forests, and what message do you hope to convey through your books?
Actually, what has happened, I have been writing books. I started writing in sometime, I retired in 2011, but I started writing books from 2015. What I had noticed that when I joined service 45 years back after training, within a few years of my training, I realized that although I was trained in forestry, I was not educated. Education in forestry is a very, very, very long thing. It doesn't happen in one day. We need to be in the forest for a very long time. Unfortunately, what I notice now, our foresters do not spend much time in forest, which is not happening. That is mainly because of technological advancement, and also because of the fact that the foresters have multiple responsibilities. They do not get so much time to be in the forest. And it is important for the foresters to be forest. Now we have many foresters who write about everything on the earth, but they do not write anything on forest. In fact, no, we do not have people who write on the terminalias or the albizia or the alberzias. There are not many people. They will talk about the tiger, they will talk about the frog, they will talk about the fish, but not many people will talk about forest. Forest is a very vast subject. There are many types of forest, and we need to know. If the forester doesn't know, who will know? I find that our foresters do not know. So I have been trying to impress upon the point that we should know the forest. Once the forest is known, other things will happen automatically. So I have been trying to improve the interest of people in learning about the forest itself, because that is the base of everything. If we do not have good forest, we do not have good wildlife. So that is my trust has been to write on forestry. I write on wildlife also, but I have been writing more on forest. All my books are dedicated to forest. I have taken on everything. Of course, I have restricted myself to Karnataka, where I have worked, because I write on the basis of my experience also. I do not write only theoretical things. I write on what I have seen and what can be done. So in that way, I have been trying to contribute in helping the new generation of foresters to take interest in forestry.
That's really nice, sir. So any message you want to give to the younger generations who are coming into Indian Forest Service?
Yeah, the most important thing is that you see when they're in their job, or some jobs will take them to the forest, and some jobs will not. They will not be in the forest in some jobs, but they have to ensure that they are, whenever there is an opportunity, they should go to the forest. They try to learn, and for a good forester, two very basic things are required. One is they should have some basic understanding of botany. I myself did not know any botany till I joined Forest Service. So one can learn botany later on also. One should have some basic understanding of botany. And secondly, he should try to understand the forest types and all. So these technical aspects, these are not taught so much in the training colleges. That is because even the trainers may not know much about the forest themselves. So we have a crisis situation where our people know everything other than the forest. So that is very important. We must know the forest. Not simply knowing evergreen or dry deciduous forest is not enough. Evergreen forest has many types. Deciduous forests have many types, and the foresters do not want to know them. And lots of works have been done by Champion and Seth more than 100 years back regarding forest types. But our people do not know about it. They do not know why the types are different. Some people want to change the types to some new types. So it is like that. I mean, we must develop the interest of knowing the forest types very well, because if we know forest types, it is easy to know the forest. We can understand how it changes from one place to another, how it changes from one rainfall to the other rainfall, and how human activities in the past 2-3 centuries have affected the forest. Because forest is a dynamic system. It depends upon rainfall, it depends upon soil, and it also depends upon how people have worked on that forest during the last 2-3 centuries. So these things we can know only by going into the historical aspects. In my book, I have tried to bring to the historical aspects also. While writing on forest, I do not only write about what of forest, I write about how and why of forest also.
So thank you so much, sir, for giving us your time, and please enjoy the evening.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.